Okay. Hello, everybody. As you said, my name is Okay. As you said, my name is Richard Hartman. I'm be talking about vcsh. First, the introduction, obvious. I'm a project and network manager at Global SAK. They are paying for me to be here, so that's why I'm telling you. I staff at at Freenode and OFTC and do some other stuff with and around free open source software. And well, I wrote vcsh, which is the main reason why I'm here. How many of you do know JIT? Okay, so we can probably skip this one. Perfect. vcsh is implemented in POSIX shell, so it should run pretty much everywhere. It stands for version control shell or version control system for home. It's based on JIT, and it somewhat extends JIT in a direction which JIT is not designed to handle. I'll get to that point later. JIT is unable to maintain several different working copies in one directory, which is by design, but this still sucks if you want to version control your home, because you usually want to have more than one repository. There's a trick which you can use with JIT, which is called fake bearer JIT repositories, which I'm using in this case, and you can more or less think of vcsh as an extension to JIT. So, what are fake bearer JIT repositories? In a normal repository, you will have, but not see because it's just hidden beneath, you'll have your working copy, or the path to your working copy always set to PVD, so works by magic. But still, JIT has a concept of where the working copy is supposed to be. Also, all the JIT data, like the configuration files, the objects, everything are in a predefined location, which is usually the working tree.jit. Bare repositories, what you have on servers where you want to push to, do not have any work tree at all, but they do have their data repository. So you have basically a mix of these two. You do have your work tree, but you can tell JIT, okay, put your work tree somewhere else. And you also tell it the JIT dir where you keep your data is also in a different location. I think I need to speed up. Yeah. So problems with this. It's really messy to set up fake bearer JIT repositories, and also your head hurts. So the main reason why JIT does not allow you to easily access any of these things is because it can be a really bad idea. I mean, it can be easy, just JIT add, and you have a messy history. Not too bad. If you reset your work, might be ugly. If you check out --**, well, you revert to a lot of your work, and if you do clean, you lose all your home, for example. So yeah, you don't want to do that, and you do not want to ever forget to unset JIT work tree at any point. So vcsh wraps around JIT. It hides all the nasty stuff from you, and easily enables you to have several different repositories per whatever, either per program or per program set, or however you like it to have it. The neat thing is, for example, you don't need your mPlayer configuration on a server, so you don't need to check it out, or you may not want your SSH config at work, or just anything. And it doesn't only vcsh doesn't only give you the ability to access the repositories. You can also manage everything around the whole lifecycle buzzword of the repository. We get to examples later. So, more or less now. If you're new to JIT or to vcsh, you have basically two different paths which you can choose. The most obvious one is just create a new repository. Which is pretty simple. And then you simply tell vcsh to set up the environment correctly for your repository vim, and to run this command within the context of the environment you set up for the fake bearer JIT repository. There are several shortcuts and other nice things which you find in the main page. So that's basically vcsh run vim git commit. Then you just can push with longhand. If you want to play with an existing repository, probably with a test user, you can clone an existing public vcsh repository, which is, for example, this one. In case you are a legacy user or you are importing non-vcsh repositories into vcsh, you want to run this one, which does a lot of nice things, setting up your repository in a way that vcsh can handle it. Yeah, and basically everything which has to do with the lifecycle of your repository can be done from vcsh: listing, renaming, deleting, everything. You have two different kind of contexts in which you can run commands. The one is you simply tell it to every time you run it, build a completely new environment and run the command within the environment. Or you can simply run the environments once, spawn your shell, whatever that might be, do whatever you want. While you're in here, your environment will be kept in the way so that JIT knows what to do about everything you do, about the files, yeah. And then in the end, you just exit the subshell and are back in your normal environment. So yeah, that's basically it. I did try to not re-implement anything where I wasn't forced to do so. So vcsh is implemented with a lot of different tools in mind, and it plays very nicely with other tools. One thing which you definitely would want to do is to make your shell display the environments variables which vcsh exports while in the repository, so you know what you're doing, in which context you are, because again, if you do the wrong things, you might trash your data. You also have integration with vgh info, which is just a way to well, basically tell you more or less everything about your JIT repository, in which branch you are, if there's any aborted commit which you're stuck in at the moment, or just anything. MR is a tool to manage multiple repositories. Doesn't matter if Subversion, Mercurial, Bazaar, JIT, whatever. And vcsh really integrates with MR. So basically, if you are in a new system, just check out your MR config, run MR up once, and it will pull all your vcsh repositories to your local machines and everything else which you want as well. And one nice approach which Shoei has tried out recently was to run JIT Annex within vcsh to manage everything which is not a configuration file within his home directory, which is still kind of bumpy, but it works rather well, surprisingly well. So that's definitely something which we'll follow up as well. And also you have a hook system, which is pretty simple, but it's really powerful, and you could do a lot of funny things. What's coming next? We need more unit tests. That's something I'm working on at the moment. So basically, every commit to the repository should, at least the code repository of vcsh will get tested completely, and you can always rely on master being able to run and bug-free. Well, bug-free, but yeah, you know what I mean. I do try to get vcsh into more distributions. I'm also trying to get more users, which is why I'm here, just to reach a certain critical mass of users to have more to have more users and more feedback and more contributions, whatever. At the moment, I think I'm at about 1,000 or 2,000 users, and everybody seems to be happy, at least to my knowledge, so yay. And also, if there are tricks which are similar to the fake bare JIT repositories in other version control systems, it would be really nice if you told me so, or if I find out myself anyway. If there are other repositories or version control systems which I can support, I'll happily do so, just because more choice is always better. That was pretty much it. You can get vcsh just by cloning my repository. As it's written in POSIX shell, as I said, you don't have to compile anything. You can just run it from in there, or you can install it, whichever you prefer. There are native packages for Debian, Ubuntu, and Arch Linux. And I found out that there is a small bug in my README, so please use the most current version. Because else, if you follow it by the letter, you will gonna run into an error. It's not too bad, but still, yeah, use this version. Or just chitmaster, because that's always going to run correctly. So that's it, and I'm up for questions.
You're probably aware of a tool called etc keeper.
Yes.
If I understood your talk now correctly, does about similar thing you do for the home directory to etc?
The question was if I'm aware of etc keeper. Yes, I am. I'm using it. It has a different focus. It's as you said, it's used for etc. It's unable to you have several working copies in one directory, which is the main point of vcsh. Yeah, but I am aware, and
Would have been typically etc keeper works quite well, but if you do very heavy manual editing of your etc, it feels to me that sometimes I get the problems you were mentioning. So could the two tools be somehow combined, or is that a nonsense idea?
they probably can't be combined as such. What you can certainly do is steal the hook system which etc keeper is using to just put everything into vcsh. You could, for example, even have, I don't know, your vimrc in etc managed in a different repository from something else. So definitely a possibility. vcsh is built to not only use home, but whatever you tell it to use. So probably poke me on IRC or send me email. If you're really interested, we can definitely follow that up. Anybody else?
Is there a clean way to know about files that are not under any Git repository or any repository unique?
So the question was if there is a way to list files which are not in vcsh. There's a branch which implements this and which I'll merge tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So it will support it, or it does support it today if you want to, but mainline will support it in a few days.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much.